Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Bibbidi Bobbidi Books. My name is Ellie and this is going to be the end of year book tag. So I don't have a whole load of time today, so I thought it'd be fun to film a quick tag video just because I can shoot off the answers, and I really wanted to get a video uploaded this week before I go away because I'm actually going away to the caravan. So my husband has a caravan in Wales and we're going there. I've got some annual leave and I'm just so excited to have a relaxing few days away and to just do loads of reading and things. I will be doing a reading vlog, so do keep an eye out for that. I'm very excited to film that one. Hopefully it's going to be really fun. So yeah, I've got a spare half an hour to quickly film this video, so yes, I thought I'd give it a go. So yeah, this is always a fun tag to watch other people do, so I hope that you enjoy my answers. I'll see if I can find the original tag video and link it for you down below, and yeah, let's just crack on with the questions. So the first question in this tag is, are there any books that you started this year that you need to finish? So for this question, I don't think there's really anything that I need to finish. I think if I've DNF'd something, if I've put something down, it's for a reason, either I'm not enjoying it or it's not the right time. So I don't like to put pressure on myself to, you know, finish books and make sure that I have things done by a certain deadline, because then it becomes more of a obligation rather than a hobby, and I want to enjoy my reading and have a fun time, and you know, it's my hobby, it's not my job. So yeah, I don't have anything that springs to mind. That being said, I have picked up Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir this month, and I'm about 150 pages in, and I've had to put it down for a little bit, which I'm really surprised by because I thought this was going to be one that I would absolutely love, and I've just not been gelling with it. I think I'm just not quite in the right headspace for that particular style of book at the moment, so I may or may not be picking that one up again. That is a sci-fi book. It's a first in a series, a very loved series, so a lot of people really enjoy this one, and it has a little bit of a twist to it because it's a sci-fi, but it's a sci-fi fantasy that involves necromancy. So yeah, that is quite fun. It's a very unique setting, but for some reason I'm just struggling to get into it. I think it's one of those books where it kind of drops you right into the world and doesn't really explain to you a whole ton about, you know, the world building and everything. You just kind of have to go with it, and I've just found that I've not been able to quite focus on it and have been struggling to understand what's going on a little bit. And I've also been struggling to picture the world, which is bizarre because the author does do a lot of like descriptions and things of the settings, but for some reason I'm just not able to quite visualize the setting. So yeah, I've put that one down for now, but hopefully I will pick it up again at some point because there are things that I like about it. I quite like how spunky the main character is and the dialogue is quite funny. But yeah, I've put that one down for now, but we shall see. The next question is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? So I'm not sure about an autumnal book, but I definitely have some books that have wintry elements to them that I think would be great to transition, you know, towards the end of the year, because now we're getting towards winter and I'm just craving things that have that wintry setting, and there's definitely a couple that I'm hoping to pick up. One is Near the Bone by Christina Henry. So this is a thriller horror book that has a wintry setting. So it says on the description that it follows a woman trapped on a mountain who attempts to survive more than one kind of monster in a dread-inducing horror novel from the national best-selling author Christina Henry. Mattie can't remember a time before she and William lived alone on a mountain together. She must never make him upset, but when Mattie discovers a mutilated body of a fox in the woods, she realises that they're not alone after all. There's something in the woods that wasn't there before, something that makes strange cries in the night, something with sharp teeth and claws. When the strangers appear on the mountaintop looking for the creature in the woods, Mattie knows their presence will anger William. Terrible things happen when William is angry. So yeah, I think that one sounds like it has such a fun setting. I don't think I've really read any horrors or thrillers that are set on like a mountain, so I'm expecting lots of snowy aesthetics, and I just think that would be a really fun one to kind of transition from the spooky horror season into winter. And another one that I think would be great to transition into winter is The Raven and the Reindeer by T. Kingfisher. So I have been slowly working my way through all of T. Kingfisher's books. She's written a lot of books and most of them I have really enjoyed, and I've been having such a fun time just kind of going back through her backlist. And this one I think is next on my TBR, and I think it sounds perfect for winter because it is a story about the Snow Queen. So on this description it says, when Greta's friend Kay is stolen away from the mysterious Snow Queen, it's up to Greta to find him. Her journey will take her through a dangerous land of snow and witchcraft, accompanied only by a bandit and a talking raven. Can she win her friend's release, or will following her heart take her to unexpected places? A strange, sly retelling of Hans Christian Andersen's Snow Queen by T. Kingfisher, author of Bryony and Roses and The Seventh Bride. So yeah, if you know me at all, you probably know that I love a dark fairy tale retelling, and this is exactly that, and it's one that has a very wintry aesthetic, and I just think it's going to be so perfect and atmospheric for this time of year. Next up it says, is there a new release that you're still waiting for? So there's a couple of books that I am waiting to be released. The first one is Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldry. This one comes out on the 7th of November, so it may well already be released by the time that you're watching this. But I'm sure you've probably heard of this one already, but this is the prequel to Legends and Lattes, which is the cozy fantasy that took YouTube and Booktube by storm a couple of years ago. It was such a sweet and cozy, comforting book that I really enjoyed. The first book follows a orc barbarian called Viv who decides to give up her warrior lifestyle in exchange for opening up a coffee shop, and it has a really lovely found family feeling, and it was just a breath of fresh air in the fantasy genre, which tends to be quite heavy, and this one was just quite nice and light. It didn't have too high stakes and just had some really lovable characters. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to getting back into that world and reading the prequel. The next book that I have my eye on is a young adult fantasy, a historical fantasy, and I'm a little bit dubious because I feel like this year I've read quite a lot of young adult novels and they've been a bit hit and miss for me. I feel like it's a genre that I'm not really gelling with at the moment. I think my reading tastes have changed over the years and I find that a lot of them just aren't quite working for me. So I'm a little bit cautious to go into this one, but it sounds really interesting because it has a Egyptian setting, which is something that I haven't seen a lot in fantasy, and I love Egyptian mythology, I love Egyptian history, and so that just really fascinates me. And the tagline says, the mummy meets death on the Nile in this lush, immersive historical fantasy set in Egypt, filled with adventure, a rivals to lovers romance, and a dangerous race. So that tagline really intrigues me, but I do think that I'm probably going to leave it a little while and see some reviews start to come through, just because, as I said, I am a little bit cautious of YA fiction at the moment and YA fantasy. So I think I'll wait and see, you know, what people say about it and if I think I'm going to gel with the writing. But I'm very intrigued by the setting of that one. And then another book that I'm intrigued by is, I believe it's another YA, so again I'm a little bit cautious, but I think this one sounds so fun for winter, especially in the lead up to Christmas, because this is a Nutcracker retelling and it's called The Kingdom of Sweets by Erica Johnson. So the tagline says for this one that it's by the best-selling author of the Queen of the Tearling series, Erica Johnson journeys to a new kingdom. This brilliant standalone novel, a darkly magical take on the Nutcracker, where two sisters cursed from birth are forever changed one memorable Christmas. It says, light and dark, this is the destiny placed upon Natasha and Clara, the birthright bestowed by their godfather, the mysterious sorcerer Drosselmeer. Clara, the favourite, grows into beauty and ease, while Natasha is cursed to live in her sister's shadow. But one fateful Christmas Eve, Natasha gets the chance at revenge, for Drosselmeer has brought the Nutcracker, an enchanted present that offers entry into a deceptively beautiful world, the Kingdom of Sweets. In this land of snow and sugar, Natasha is presented with a power far greater than Drosselmeer, the sugar plum fairy, who is also full of gifts and dreadful bargains. Natasha uncovers a dark destiny laid before her birth. She must reckon with powers both earthly and magical and decide which world she truly belongs. I think that one sounds so interesting. I really hope that it goes as dark as I want it to, but I'm a little bit cautious because it is a YA. But I think if this one has that real dark twist to it, it could be fantastic. I love the idea of having this really sugary sweet setting and then pairing that with something that's quite dark. It sounds like it's going to be a fae story because the sugar plum fairy is full of gifts but also dreadful bargains, which makes me feel like she's a tricksy fae type character, and I just think that one sounds like a whole load of fun. The next question says, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? So I would definitely like to finish out the F Year Trilogy by Robin Hobb. I've read the first 2 books and I really want to read the final one so that I have that series complete by the end of the year. And I've been really enjoying it. I've just kind of put off the 3rd book because I've been a little bit sidetracked by all the horror and spooky books over the autumn season. And so yeah, I've just been kind of waiting until December, I think, to pick that one up, but I'm very excited. It is the first trilogy in her hugely expansive fantasy world, and it follows our main character, who is the royal bastard, a young man called Fitz, and he is delivered to the palace and he's raised by the stable hand and has quite a unique position within the palace as a royal bastard because he can mix with both upper and lower classes, and he kind of goes unnoticed by both. And so that makes him the perfect candidate to train up as a royal assassin, and that's exactly what he does. And he kind of gets embroiled in all this political machination that is going on within this fantasy world, and it's so well written. The characters are so believable and so realistic and so lovable, and also just complex and fascinating. And it has such a great magic system in there as well that involves 2 different types of magic. You've got the skill and the wit. One is a kind of mind magic, and the other one is a type of magic that allows you to communicate and bond with animals, which is something that I haven't read a lot of in fantasy, and I just really love that magic system. And yeah, it's so immersive and so interesting, quite slow paced, but I don't mind that in my epic fantasy. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the finale. Another book that I would like to read by the end of the year is Daughters of the Lake. I forget the author for this one, but I'll pop a picture up on the screen for you. This is a historical mystery thriller that has been on my TBR. Well, it's been on many of my TBRs and I just haven't got around to it, and I don't know why, because I think it sounds really interesting. It follows the mystery of a woman who finds a body that is washed up in a lake, I think it is, and she recognises this woman from her dreams. So it seems like there's a little bit of a timey-wimey element to it because the woman is dressed in historical clothes, and yeah, it just sounds quite interesting and unique. So I need to get to that one. And another one that I will be reading by the end of the year is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. You've probably heard of this one a lot online because it's hugely popular. It's the 2nd book in a young adult, new adult fantasy series. The 1st book was Fourth Wing, and listen, I enjoyed Fourth Wing. I don't think it's particularly well written. I don't think it's particularly anything new. It is incredibly tropey. The dialogue and everything is incredibly cheesy. It's very overly dramatic. You have to suspend your disbelief because a lot of the situations don't really make a whole load of sense. But that being said, I still had a fun time with it, and I actually read it with my friend Martina, and it's been really fun sort of like giggling to her about it and chatting to her about the silly romance and things. So yeah, we're both going to read the 2nd book together as well, and I'm very much looking forward to all the antics and all the drama. So yeah, I will be finishing that one this year as well. And then the final question is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favourite book of the year? So I think the final book in the F Year Trilogy, I think it's called Assassin's Quest. That could definitely be a favourite because it's the final in a fantasy trilogy that I've been really enjoying, and I've heard a lot of people say that it's incredibly moving and emotional, so I have a feeling that I'm going to really enjoy that one. But I mean, any of the books that I'm planning to pick up by the end of the year, I hope will be a new favourite. I go into books hoping to find a new favourite, so any of them could surprise me. Any one of them could become a new favourite. I know that I'm quite excited to get to a book called The Library at Mount Char, written by Scott Hawkins. So this has been recommended to me by a friend of mine who knows my reading taste, and I just feel like it's going to be for me because it sounds very strange. It's a fantasy standalone, and I'll just give you a little read of the synopsis because it says, a missing god, a library with the secrets to the universe, a woman too busy to notice her heart slipping away. Carolyn's not so different from the other people around her. She likes guacamole and cigarettes and steak. She knows how to use a phone. Clothes are a bit tacky, but everyone says nice things about her outfit with the Christmas sweater over the gold bicycle shorts. After all, she was a normal American herself once. That was a long time ago, of course, before her parents died, before she and the others were taken in by the man they called Father. In the years since then, Carolyn hasn't had a chance to get out that much. Instead, she and her adopted siblings have been raised according to Father's ancient customs. They've studied the books of his library and learned some of the secrets of his power, and sometimes they've wondered if their cruel tutor might secretly be God. Now Father is missing, perhaps even dead, and the library that holds his secrets stands unguarded, and with it control over all of creation. As Carolyn gathers the tools she needs for the battle to come, fierce competitors for this prize align against her, all of them with powers that far exceed her own. But Carolyn has accounted for this, and Carolyn has a plan. The only trouble is that in the war to make a new god, she's forgotten to protect the things that make her human. Populated by an unforgettable cast of characters and propelled by a plot that will shock you again and again, The Library at Mount Char is at once horrifying and hilarious, mind-blowing, alien and heartbreakingly human, sweepingly visionary and nail-bitingly thrilling, and signals the arrival of a major new voice in fantasy. Doesn't that sound so unique and so epic? And now I really want to pick that one up. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to me rambling on. I hope that you enjoyed my answers to all these questions. I'd love to hear what your answers are as well, so please do feel free to play along with me and drop your answers to the questions down below in the comments section. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and do subscribe if you want to see some more from me if you haven't already. I hope you're having a fantastic day whatever it is you are doing, and I guess I'll see you next time with another video. Bye!